So the actual headline here is that Canada has also secured a pause on the tariffs for 30 days. And this is in a post on X by the Prime Minister. If I could just have the liberty to read it to everyone.
Absolutely.
So that they can see the background. He says, I just had a good call with President Trump. Canada is implementing our $1.3 billion border plan, reinforcing the border with new choppers, technology and personnel, enhanced coordination with our American partners, and increased resources to stop the flow of fentanyl. Nearly 10,000 frontline personnel are and will be working on protecting the border. Now, here's where the new stuff comes in. Oh, there, you've got it up. Great. In addition, Canada is making new commitments to appoint a fentanyl czar. We will list cartels as terrorists, ensure 24/7 eyes on the border, launch a Canada-U.S. joint strike force to combat organized crime, fentanyl, and money laundering. I've also signed a new intelligence directive on organized crime and fentanyl, and we will be backing it with $200 million. Proposed tariffs will be paused for at least 30 days while we work together. So that is the news. Obviously, this is just breaking. This is just coming in. But the call at 3 p.m. between the president and the prime minister has clearly resulted in a deal, much like the one we have been reporting on with Mexico, to hold off on the tariffs for 30 days, I guess, to see how this actually gets executed and whether it's enough to satisfy Donald Trump to permanently decide not to hold tariffs, what would be very punishing and damaging tariffs to our economy, but also the U.S. economy beyond those 30 days. So that is just coming in right now. And there will be a meeting, as we know, we've been reporting, between the Canada-U.S. Cabinet Committee of the government, who will obviously be talking about this, and perhaps we will get further information, especially about these new measures being announced by the Prime Minister, about how they will work.
Karina, I mean, this is just an unbelievable day, right? I mean, you have the 9 o'clock call. Let's just kind of go back and let's talk about the day. The 9 o'clock call with the Prime Minister as well, the U.S. President talking with the Mexican President, announcing that the Mexican President there would be this 1 month reprieve, and then a 3 o'clock call. And it's sort of, the day kind of just wasn't sure. We got some alerts about how the U.S. Border Patrol was getting ready to kind of, go through the list, and then all of a sudden, bam.
Absolutely. And this does seem to be sort of the new reality, the new normal with the Trump administration, that there is a lot of unpredictability, both in terms of what will be said and what will be done and what will come of it. So it's interesting, too, that the money attached to this, $200 million to these new measures, or the intelligence directive on organized crime and fentanyl, and backing that with $200 million. I think just from a financial point of view, that's probably a lot cheaper than the damage to the economy. Well, it is a lot cheaper than the damage to the economy that Canada would have suffered through tariffs. But it still is a wad of cash for measures. And what does 24/7 eyes on the border mean? Is that drones? Is that people? And it's a very long border. So
almost 9,000 kilometers long.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. But it is interesting hearing about this. It does seem that there is a real concerted effort in this messaging to talk about cracking down on organized crime. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert in Canada's previous efforts on that and dealing with money laundering and cartels and organized crime, but this does seem to be a renewed focus. We haven't really heard the Prime Minister talk about organized crime to this extent, at least to my ears.